Compressed air is air kept under a pressure that is greater than atmospheric pressure. It serves many domestic and industrial purposes. In Europe, 10% of all industrial electricity consumption is to produce compressed air amounting to 80 terawatt-hours consumption per year. Uses. In industry, compressed air is so widely used that it is often regarded as the fourth utility, after electricity, natural gas and water. However, compressed air is more expensive than the other three utilities when evaluated on a per-unit energy delivered basis. Compressed air is used for many purposes, including pneumatics, the use of pressurized gases to do work, pneumatic post, using capsules to move paper and small goods through tubes. Air tools, HVAC control systems. Vehicle propulsion, energy storage, air brakes, including railway braking systems, road vehicle braking systems. Scuba diving, for breathing and to inflate buoyancy devices, refrigeration using a vortex tube, air start systems in engines, ammunition propulsion in air guns, airsoft equipment, paintball equipment. The header piping up to the air dryers is exposed to moist, hot air. Copper, stainless steel and other piping materials that are less corrosive are recommended. If plain carbon steel piping is installed, then rust particles can pass downstream and interfere with the operation of condensate valves and Y strainers. The riser piping should connect to the top of the header piping and be one pipe size larger than the compressor discharge piping and/or overhead header piping. A drip leg with a drain is needed to prevent water from flowing back to the compressor. Mount valves in the highest horizontal piping. All of the header main compressed air piping should slope 1/8 to 1/4 per foot down and away from the point of origin. Gravity and airflow will then carry condensate to the low points where a drop leg should be installed to allow for removal at accessible drop legs and drain points. These drops should be installed every 50 to 70 feet in the system and be taken from the bottom of the main line to ensure as much removal as possible. The inlet piping for air dryer, should connect to the bottom of the piping headers. Compressed air rooms with multiple air compressors, where multiple air compressors are to connect the riser piping to the top of overhead piping headers. The inlet piping for air dryer, should connect to the bottom of the piping headers. Compressed air distribution piping outside air compressors rooms, all of the header main compressed air piping should slope 1/8 per foot down from the point of origin. Gravity and airflow will then carry condensate to the low points where drop legs should be installed to allow for removal at to accessible drop legs and drain points. For larger plant, as the piping elevation lowers, a full-size T with a bottom drip leg preceding an elbow turned up to raise the pipe elevation. These drip legs and upturned elbows are typically 200 to 300 feet apart, that is the main piping slopes about 1/100th feet, and the elbow up raises the piping elevation 2 to 3 feet. Compressed air should flow through the straight ends of a T and should never hit the backside of a T. Compressed air piping drops, the air piping drops should connect from the top of the main piping. This prevents any condensate which forms in the main piping from flowing into the branch pipes. Individual shut-off valves should be installed at each drop pipe to isolate it from the rest of the system for maintenance. Compressed air velocity in piping and fittings, pressure drop is proportional to the square of the velocity. Any high volume, intermittent demand produces dramatic pressure drop during peak periods. See also, air dryer, cabin pressurization, gas compressor. Notes. External links. World's largest glossary of terms relating to compressed air, a source of original articles and information related to compressed air and pneumatics, Compressed Air and Gas Institute, Improving Compressed Air System Performance by U.S. Department of Energy, History of compressed air, piping, drying, filtering, regulating, lubricating, troubleshooting your compressed air system.